Hi, my name's Paul. For Assessment 2, 1199 EDN, I will be discussing The Freedom Writers, written by Erin Gruhl. Miss Gruhl took the class by surprise with her first instructions of the day. She stood at the front of the class with a confident yet relaxed poise, and in an assertive voice, she said, "Students, I want you to move all of the desks and furniture to the end of the room, please." Her students rarely did as instructed, without a whole lot of attitude, and often refused to conform with any ideas, instructions, or attitudes that Miss Gruhl presented. On this occasion, however, she took the students by surprise and sparked their curiosity, and they did comply. They cleared the room. She then said, "Now half of the group move to the left-hand side of the room, and the other half to the right-hand side of the room." The students' curiosity intensified. What the hell was she up to? She then produced a roll of thick red tape and proceeded to tape a straight line directly down the center of the classroom. Her next words were confronting, but she knew all of the students had had some experience with what she was about to say. She said, "Step up to the line if you know of a friend or family member who has lost their life to gang violence." The room felt completely silent. No one moved for what seemed an eternity. Then, slowly, one by one, the students stepped up to the line, toe to toe, and gazed in each other's eyes. At first, their gazes were met with surprise with each other, but then it changed into a gaze of understanding and compassion. The emotion in the room was palpable. The students were connecting with one another. A connection was being made of understanding and shared sorrow and grief. You see, Mrs. Gruhl's Year 10 English class was ethnically divided. There were whites, African Americans, Cambodians, and Hispanics, and they did not mix. She had designed this exercise to try and break through these racial barriers. More importantly, to make a connection with her students and for them to connect with one another. The class was nearing an end. The bell would ring soon, but Miss Gruhl had not yet reached the crux of her lesson plan. She proceeded to produce a diary, brand new diaries for each of them, and instructed them to write in them every day. That was their task. It could be long or short, fiction, non-fiction. She implored them. She said, "Guys, you can pour your heart and soul. You can tell your story in these books. And I promise I will not read them unless you give me permission." Each day she would check the students' work. Just not read it, just check it to make sure they're all participating. And then students could leave their work in a locked cabinet at the front of the room. This was to ensure confidentiality, but it also meant if they left it in the cabinet, Miss Gruhl had permission to read it. After a week, all of the journals were being left in the cabinet, and Miss Gruhl found indeed that the students had been pouring their heart and souls into these books. Stories of hardship, stories of courage, but all had the same thing. They were all of optimistic, youthful minds. Finally, after weeks of grappling with how she could develop trust and connect with these students, she had broken through. Miss Gruhl developed her pedagogy and lesson plans to suit the needs of her students. The diaries were a start of the connection between the students and their learning. And they gave her the ability to get to know her students and therefore know how they learn. Miss Gruhl seized this opportunity to teach ideas such as tolerance, understanding, through classic pieces of literature such as the Diary of Anne Franks. Her students connected with this literature because it was relevant to them. It was relatable. This is a direct example of her implementing ASPT1, Focus Area 1.3. Through the written mode of communication, Miss Gruhl came to know her students, and this gave her credibility in their eyes. She expertly used relevant, relatable content from real-world scenarios, such as the Diary of Anne Franks. Now, another reason the students saw her as credible was that she demonstrated good teacher immediacy by praising and acknowledging quality work. This made her approachable and bred a healthy, successful learning environment. The way Miss Gruhl approached teaching gave her students a sense of dignity. She got to know their personal stories, and she honored them as unique individuals. Furthermore, Miss Grill was very accommodating with how she treated her students. A good example of this in the book was that whatever homework she set them, she would give them extra time in class to complete it, because she knew how difficult their lives were outside of the classroom. This showed she saw them as unique individuals. She believed that they could reach their full academic potential if given a fair chance. She allowed them to feel a dignity they deserved. Freedom Writers showcases a quality teacher who uses effective communication and to get to know their students and to inspire them to learn successfully. Thank you.